Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's eChapter meeting. I'm so glad to be here with all of you today. You may be wondering, where in the world is STAR Networking from this week? Well, today, I'm talking to you from our Dallas Towers Networking event. Yes, I'm in my hotel room. We just wrapped up a fantastic day of networking and inspiration. And don't worry if you missed it. We're doing it again in just a few days in Washington, D.C. on October the 8th. We also have an upcoming Power Networking event in New York and in Los Angeles. Oh, yeah, we're doing the darn thing right now. You can register online at NAPW.com or on the NAPW Facebook page. Our eChapter has just been growing and growing and growing. And, yes, I am bragging. Can you believe? We now have more than 20,000 members. This is really amazing. I am absolutely thrilled to witness the explosive growth of this exciting initiative, and I thank each and every one of you for making our bi-weekly virtual meeting so engaging, heartfelt, and inspiring. The NAPW eChapter is surely networking at its best. Which brings us to our topic for today, building stronger networks and trusted connections. Productive networking requires strength, confidence, and a desire to succeed. That first meaningful connection creates a foundation, enhancing your life for professional and personal success. The key to attaining your goals through networking is building relationships over time and strengthening those contacts, developing and maintaining quality connections, and enriching your life, and it empowers you to achieve your goals. That's sort of the way I've worked my network for all these years. Remember, you give first, share your knowledge and expertise, and then you help others succeed. And in return, you really do learn from everyone you meet. To help you master the art of networking, we put together a panel of NAPW VIP members who are going to share their experiences, advice, and wisdom today on how to grow your network and cultivate relationships that last. Before we get to the panel discussion, we're going to hear from three fabulous VIP members who are in our VIP Member Spotlight segment. These women boast successful careers in a variety of industries. They each have a unique story to tell, and I really can't wait to hear them. Finally, please be sure to participate in the polls that will appear throughout the meeting. This interactive aspect of our eChapter meeting gives us some really great insights into our attendees and your thoughts on some very important topics. They also help set the agenda for future eChapter meetings. And now, without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce NAPW's National Director of Chapters, Louise Newsom, who is also the president of our New York City chapter. She and her team help spearhead our eChapter, and she is going to facilitate today's live meeting. Louise, you are.
Thank you, Star. Just want to say, don't forget to mute your phone because I know you're coming back later, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts on our panel discussion.
I'm going to give you some networking tips when I come back. So I'm going to listen, and then I'm going to add to it, I promise.
Wonderful. We'll see you later. Well, welcome, everyone, to our live eChapter session. If you're a returning member or joining us for the first time today, we are hosting our eChapters now through a brand new Adobe Connect platform that in time, with training, will enable us to expand your experience when attending these events. We'll be hosting reruns bi-weekly after each of our live events, so please come back if you wish to listen again and network with new attendees from around the country, as the networking portion is always live. The reruns also give me a chance to be in the chat room and witness what's happening there, and do a little live networking myself. It's been so exciting to see women exchanging ideas, email addresses, and connecting post-event, and even setting up in-person coffee meetings. This enables more of our members in different time zones to be part of each topic and still be networking if it's live or a rerun. We encourage you to carve out the time, either the first or third Wednesday each month, and keep coming back to our eChapter events because of its ease and ability to network from your office, while on the road, and even from the comfort of your own home. Keep a lookout for the email invites and promotions on social media. Also, all events are posted with registration links on NAPW.com eChapter group page. We also have in attendance today some additional corporate moderators to assist you or just chat with you along the way. They are Samantha Picorni, local chapter manager, who'll do her best to offer technical support if needed, Dana Angel, graphic designer and digital media manager, will be live posting throughout the event on NAPW's Facebook and Twitter, encouraging you in the chat room to share our posts on your social media. And Katie Maloney, Director of Membership Acquisition. You will also see several times during the event a poll pop up on your screen. Please take a minute to answer the questions as we will share the results during the panel discussion. The agenda for our event today is that we'll be showcasing 3 VIP member spotlights who have 3 minutes each to share their expertise before we invite our panelists on to discuss our topic for today, building stronger networks and trusted connections. So for our first spotlight, I'd like to introduce Stelly Kim, who is the creator of mypluspeople.com and a certified strengths-based leadership trainer. She started her career as a mental health specialist and provided counseling and support to patients. She served as Director of Community Mission at the American Cancer Society and Director of Training and Compliance at EnviroAmerica. Her passion is promoting positive communication through social-emotional learning. She provides StrengthsFinder leadership training with Novo Consortium. Stelly received a BA in Comparative Literature from UC Berkeley and an MS of Organizational Leadership from Norwich Military University. As an artist at heart, she enjoys performing expressive arts and plays piano. Stelly is also the stellar residing NAPW chapter president of our Oakland, California chapter. Good afternoon, Stelly. Come online and join us here on eChapter.
Hi, thank you, Louise, for the introduction. Can you hear me well?
We can hear you. We can't see you.
Great.
Click your camera. Click your camera, Stelly, so we can see you.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's fine. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Go right ahead. Wonderful.
Hello, yes. Thank you again, Louise, for the introduction. And I'm Stelly. It's a pleasure to join you and share my story. As you can see, I have my creative pen ready above me. Well, October is a Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So over the years, I had the privilege of serving thousands of cancer patients. And I have no doubt in my mind that life is a journey to overcome challenges with our strength. It's interesting that we work hard to build our physical strength. We exercise and eat well to stay healthy, but we don't spend enough time developing our inner strength. So how about you? How well do you know about your unique talents and strengths that are different from anybody else? How do you train your mind? Research shows that people who understand and leverage their strengths daily are 3 times happier and 6 times more successful. I just love the data. So as a certified StrengthsFinder trainer, I train people to find their strengths and develop them based on real data. Gallup StrengthsFinder is one of the psychometric assessments that I use. And nowadays, with so many different technology and information, there are effective tools that we can apply to understand who we are and how to develop our emotional and social intelligence for success. I usually work with organizations and provide team training and executive coaching. But this week, only just to the NAPW members, I would like to offer a free StrengthsFinder consultation. So if you want to know how to uncover your own strength and empower you and your business, please feel free to reach me. Let's find your strength today and stay in power to empower you and people around you. I know I keep saying empower, but I just love the words. In fact, my website is empowerleadership.com with IN. Please feel free to check it out for more information, and I'd love to hear from you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Stelly. I invite you to go over to the chat room. I see that I have myself in mute still. Thanks, Sam, for that, that handout. Anyway, Stelly, go continue the conversation there as I move on to our next spotlight for today, Jeannie Gleason, who in 2016 decided to take a leap of faith and join the world of entrepreneurship. With over 14 years of business experience in the insurance and financial industry, it helped prepare her for this jump. Jeannie joined Tap Out Fitness as a franchisee owner to follow her passion for fitness and martial arts. Tap Out Fitness was built for genuine and dedicated athletes with a focus on hard body fitness, rooted in mixed martial arts, and has evolved towards a focus on training and fitness. Staying committed to its original brand essence of discipline, determination, and motivation, Tap Out Fitness is dedicated to inspiring the athlete in every individual. Good afternoon, Jeannie, and welcome. Come on and join.
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome everybody, and thank you, Louise, for the introduction.
Jeannie, yes, come on camera and join us. We can't see you. We can hear you. There
it goes. A little delay. Thanks, Louise. And hello, everybody. Good afternoon. As Louise said, yes, I had a strong background in insurance and financial services for over 14 years and over 10 years in different leadership roles. So a lot of things that I've learned over that career that helped prepare me for where I am today was the importance of building relationships, staying true to certain principles, and then following through on different promises that you made to people throughout your career, whether it was coworkers, vendors, employees, and such. So I remember one instance that kind of was a good piece of information and probably feedback from a manager, a leader that I had, that was a very simple piece of advice. I was brought on as a leadership role. The team was about 90% male, and about 50% of those male employees were also older than myself. So of course they weren't very trusting initially, skeptical, and they were like, what does this chick know? So it really took my time to get to know them first, build relationships, meanwhile setting clear expectations and goals, but really working on building that mutual trust with the team. It took some time, and it took a little bit quicker and sometimes longer with some different people on the team. And I remember, of course, going crazy and being stressed out, and my leader at the time telling me, I hired you for a reason, be true to yourself and be who you are. And that was very simple advice, but something that resonated with me and just always helped me hit that reset button, stay true to myself, live my truth, and I kind of impress that upon other people as I work with other people as well, and really build those relationships, being authentic. So that really helped. A lot of that career helped prepare me for where I am today and really take the jump and be courageous and open up a Tap Out Fitness franchise. So that's where I am today. I did that this year, earlier in 2016. We just opened our doors actually a week ago. So it was a lot of big undertaking, but excited because my task and what I really enjoy is helping people and empowering people. So I want to continue doing that in my new business and empowering women through self-defense classes and children, kids, and adults as well through martial arts, because I know how much it helped me as a child growing up and how much it's helped other people in their lifetime. So it is a franchise. My website is raleigh.tapoutfitness.com, and you can find out more information there. And there goes my dog. It's like perfect timing in the background. So, and again, we do offer NAPW, as far as discounts, we do offer discounts for NAPW members to come in, $1 enrollment, and we also give you a women's pack, which includes women's gloves, a self-defense keychain, and a Tap Out t-shirt as well.
Okay, Jeannie, so you know what? I think your dog needs you, but you know what? Come back. Come back, though. Take yourself off camera, go into mute, and come back and share that information again in the chat room with the ladies. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so last but not least for our spotlights today, I'd like to welcome Janine Schindler. Janine is the founder of Jazz Coaching and Training Incorporated, formed in 2001. She is a master certified coach and leadership development facilitator who quickly establishes rapport with her clients and then generates insights by encouraging solutions-focused conversations. Janine specializes in working with executives and organizations in areas such as team building, cross-culture, cross-generational, and communication. She delivers initiatives across all organization levels, nationally and internationally, from high-growth companies to Fortune 500 companies. She served as an instructor and R&D team member of New York University's Coaching Certified Program and currently serves as the International Coach Federation's Global Independent Ethical Review Board and as a coaching examiner for Columbia University. Janine holds a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from St. John's University, New York, a Master of Arts in Computer Science from Queens College, New York, and is a graduate from 3 coach training programs and maintains a Master Certified Coach credential through International Coach Federation. Her clients have ranged from ABC Broadcasting, American Heart Association, Novartis, Barclays, PricewaterhouseCoopers, to name a few, and more importantly, Janine, you have been my long-standing Vice President of the NAPW New York City chapter for the last 6+ years. Love having you here today, Janine. Come online.
Can you see me and hear me?
Absolutely. You go right ahead.
Well, thank you, Louise. It has been a wonderful journey that we've had together for the past 6 years, and certainly it's been a wonderful opportunity to meet the members of the New York City chapter as well as some of the other chapters that I've had the opportunity to present to remotely. We've got to love technology, and that's not just because I have a degree in computer science. So 15 years ago, I launched my global company, JAS Coaching and Training, soon to be rebranded as JAS Leadership, of coaches and trainers in every continent across the globe, where we reach out to organizations from the Fortune 100 down to the small to mid-sized business to help the leaders in these roles take their business to the next level. I like the book by Jim Collins. He talks about going from good to great. Well, my belief is let's take people from great to greater. And we do that by unleashing potential through neuroscience, positive psychology, systems theory, and change theory. Because for many people, change is the scariest 6-letter word in the English language. I've been honored to serve in my role as Vice President with our chapter. I'm even more honored to say that I'll be meeting some of you perhaps in the D.C. area this weekend for both the Leadership Day as well as the P&E on Saturday. And I, too, would love to connect with as many of you as possible. So please, my information is right there for you on the screen. Drop me an email. Let's find a way to connect, and let's see if we can take the leadership in your organization or even your own leadership to the next level. Thanks, Louise. It's been an honor, and I really look forward to what our next chapter is going to be. So thank you.
Thanks, Janine. Go over to the chat room. Continue the conversation there, and you can meet people right now. You don't even have to wait to DC. You can do it at this moment. Anyway, so I want to thank all our professional spotlights today for taking the time to be on our eChapter, and it's time to continue our program with our panel discussion, which is Building Stronger Networks and Trusted Connections. So for our first panelist, I welcome Ada Sands, who is a broker realtor at TNG Real Estate Consultants. In addition, she is a commercial lender consultant as well. Her skills and areas of expertise include residential and commercial sales and purchases, as well as commercial lending. She is a probate specialist. She received her JD from Southwestern University School of Law. She is currently involved with the Langston Bar Association Board of Directors and past president, California Bar Association, National Bar Association, Pacific West Association of Realtors, the California Association of Realtors, and the National Association of Realtors. She is drawn to and passionate about charitable organizations such as youth mentoring and volunteers at the local schools. Good afternoon, Ada. Wonderful to have you here on the panel with us today. You can come on camera and just keep yourself on mute for a minute while I go through the rest of the panelists. So for our next panelist, I'd like to welcome Dr. Carol Soloway, who is a practicing chiropractor and qualified medical evaluator and the wonderful president of North Orange County chapter of NAPW. She's also the author of the recently released Sex Happens, a portrait of a contemporary family. The main character's bittersweet journey of love, loss, and sexuality leads her to a miraculous discovery of self and power. Sex Happens explores the very essence of all that we value as women: marriage, sex, motherhood, and what we'll do for each. Carol is embarking on an RV book tour with her husband, who is nothing like any of the characters in the novel, and her speeches are designed to empower and inspire women. Carol, come on camera, keep yourself in mute, and I'm going to introduce our last panelist for today, Jean Omlo, who is the business breakthrough and executive coach, whose passion and sweet spot is helping entrepreneurs to grow their business to the maximum profits with high impact strategy in alignment with how they want to operate in the world. She assists leaders and entrepreneurs to experience explosive growth in their sales and profits through a high impact strategy, maximum effect marketing, and other custom tailored killer strategies. These accessible strategies are the mission link between traditional ways of doing business in the entrepreneurial world and the new ways of building scalable enterprises. The focus of our work with our clients is to work with their particular personalities, whether right brain, left brain, or somewhere in between, to increase sales, create higher profit margins, scalable systems, along with training and being a more effective leader, while concentrating on high-impact revenue-generating activities while you run your business on your own terms. Jean spent 7 years as an executive recruiter for top Wall Street executives and also has a background as an actress, filmmaker, and designer. And she started her coaching business back in 2012. And she's also a sought-after speaker at top universities, business organizations, and conferences. So, ladies, welcome. Are you all here with me? Wonderful. You can unmute.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, ladies. Great. So, we are all here, and everybody is here today to get some great tips from you guys on how to build their network and create lasting relationships. It's said that forming strong relationships in every area of life is an essential component to our success. So let's start with authenticity. Ladies, what does this mean to you? How important is it to you, and what impact do you think it has on building strong relationships? So I'm going to start with Jean. You can open up here for us today.
Okay, so I think that authenticity is more important than ever now. And first of all, I think it's about being truthful with yourself, with others, and being really careful about verbal and non-verbal lies we tell ourselves and others. Because even harmless lies are not harmless. It's eroding your character. It's really not helping your business relationships. And it's lowering your sense of personal integrity. And people can smell untruth a mile away. So, and there are so many ways of being untruthful, and I feel we have to get really clear on all those ways and just not do it. I think we're living in an era where being untruthful is almost acceptable, and I think that it's caused mistrust in a global way. It's not a good trend, and it's not a good, strong relationship builder. So basically, be truthful, I think, is really the main thing about being authentic, and also authentically care about people and get back to people when they contact you no matter what. So just basic good manners and not just thinking about yourself and what's in it. So I think that is being authentic. It's just being truthful.
Thanks, John. You know, we just ran a poll, and you see it there on your screen, and it's interesting that, you know, around 50-50 here on people being able to gauge authenticity. It's either 50% around that say yes and 50% say sometimes. So, Carol, I mean, what do you think that challenge is in really understanding and gauging authenticity? Oh, Carol, you need to unmute. Okay. We'll go over to Ada while she figures that out. Ada, do you want to fill in for Carol here while we're on that point?
Well, I'm not going to be able to give much for with regard to the poll results. However,
okay, no problem.
I can tell you that with regard to this, what we're talking about today, it would be good for everyone to have their paper and pencil out, because some of these are going to be really good tips that you'd want to remember. I think the key to authenticity is building a strong relationship. One of my colleagues is a lot younger than I am, and I struggled to find some common ground for the formulation of a relationship. I told her about the neighborhood I grew up in and found that she grew up in a similar neighborhood. We became instant close friends, and our friendship has endured for years. She even referred me to a buyer. I got that buyer into a wonderful new home, and that's perfect for that buyer's personality. I think authenticity is critical to building all strong relationships. And not only that, after I got her home sold, I got a buyer referral from her because I was authentic. So I think it's really important that you be authentic, that people can easily feel your authenticity.
Well, that's true. Actually, I'm just going to ask Carol to turn her camera off while she's fiddling with her phone. just so she can, because we'll hear you first, and then I'll tell you to come back on camera, Carol. So we'll wait for you to hear your voice. So yes, Ada, I think that, I think the reason why people struggle to figure out if somebody is authentic is because it's not initial. I think it takes time, and you need to have experiences with somebody to figure out their authenticity, to understand if they're true to what they say. And that's a defining piece of authenticity, is follow through. Jean, would you agree?
Yes, I would. And actually, I have a comment about that very much like yours, is that if you always do what you say you will do, people notice that. They notice this habit. Oh, that person always does what they say they will do, and they notice it, and it builds your relationship, and it builds your reputation as somebody that just always sticks to their word. Now, I always do what I say I'm going to do, and if I don't, it's because it's an honest mistake. And in that case, I'm truthful, and I say, look, I'm sorry, I'm human, and I own it. So that leads me to the next thing, is always own when you don't do what you do, and don't make excuses. Just explain why something happened and go the extra mile to make up for it. Like in business, if you make a mistake, own up. Don't start blaming other people. Say, I'm so sorry. How can I make this better? And it is amazing how people respond to that. They are just disarmed because they love humility, and they love feeling like they are validated when there is a problem. So don't try to get off the hook. People find that cowardly and very uncompelling. And what they do find courageous is just saying that, I'm going to take the consequences of not doing what I said I'm going to do. So this, as I said, this disarms them, and it makes the person leave that experience with you in a very fulfilled way, that they were validated, and that's what people want.
Thank you. Carol, do we have you on? Because I can't, if you can unmute, let's see if we can hear you.
Yes, you do.
Perfect.
Yes, you do.
Okay,
you hear
Carol.
Me?
Yes, so what do you have to say about this authenticity piece? Share with us.
Well, this is authentic, getting on and getting off. What our biggest challenges as a professional is also that we're also wives, mothers, and we have to balance that. Now, I know I've left my practice to go see a child's game, and I've heard, oh, you're not serious. You can't be a professional. And then my son came into practice, and I'd hear the patients say, if he goes to a game, wow, he's such an authentic, wonderful father. As women, you lost me again.
Keep talking, Carol. Keep talking.
I will. As women, we have to be authentic, and we have to be authentic to all of our parts. And what I did, how I came up with bridging this dichotomy, is by offering my patients, every one of them, my cell number. And I said, if ever you can't get me, if ever you need anything, here's my number. Call me. And they felt validated. I was authentic to every part of my being, my profession and my personal.
Right. So basically, that you offered that, so you have to follow through with that. Not everybody wants to give a cell phone number out. So it can be, I will respond to an email within 24 hours, and that's what you do. So you have to find your comfort zone in what you're offering so that you can follow through.
Yes, but I do want to say no one ever abused that.
Right. That's okay. Perfect. Well, I'm going to move on to the next question. Building a sense of mutual trust is a combination of behaviors and actions that lead to this result. In your professional roles, ladies, what practices do you engage in to create mutual trust? If it's with a prospective client, co-worker, or a colleague. Ada, let's start with you.
I found the best way to create mutual trust is to do what you say you're going to do, going back to Janine. For example, always return calls and emails quickly. Always meet on time, and no matter what happens, always conduct yourself in a professional manner. I found these practices are the best way to create mutual trust. I'll give you an example. One of my clients knew a lot of real estate agents years before she met me. And despite all of the real estate agents that she knew, she allowed me to help her buy her new home. To show my appreciation, I got her into a plan with no money down, no down payments, and no closing costs. She absolutely loves her wonderful new home located in a great neighborhood. Now, again, I built a sense of mutual trust with her. And I went out over all the other agents she's known for years before she met me. So, just to reiterate, the tools that I use are respecting all the persons, returning calls and emails quickly, meeting on time, and maintaining my professionalism.
Thank you, Ada. We just ran another poll, and it says, do you feel that your own insecurities can get in the way of trust? So actually, about nearly 80% of the attendees today said sometimes. So that means sometimes yes, and sometimes no. So, Jean, let's talk about this a little more. I mean, it's true. I mean, we can get in our own way. And how do we overcome it?
Absolutely. I feel that people's fear, I mean, I know in my profession, fear is the number one thing keeping people from doing what they want to do in life. And also fear, people can smell that a mile away, and that is insecurity. And when you're insecure, it does make people wonder, oh, wait, why are they insecure? You might be the most honest person in the world, but if your insecurities are there, it's palpable, people kind of wonder. So I think it's really important to work on that, and I actually help my clients with that even if they're completely paralyzed by fear, I teach them to take action and just drag the fears behind them and not overanalyze. But absolutely, if you're insecure about going out and meeting people and turning up to events and getting back to people, that does affect your business relationships.
So the giving back piece, because that brings up a lot. I mean, and actually we'll go over to that with the last question today, which is about the networking piece. But I think that the mutual trust to build that needs to be activated by yourself first. I think that if you step up and out and show your authenticity and your ability to follow through, then the other person, if they're meeting you halfway with this and you're coming together, then that's where the trust builds. Carol, what would you like to add in here?
I would love to add, but I'm off again.
No, you're not. You're here. You're right here. Keep going.
Oh, great. Okay, yes. Our insecurity so often gets in the way of us listening. Listening is the key. We're so busy with our own chatter that we don't focus on the other person, and that's where we do the connecting, the bonding, and that's what really forms the relationship.
So Ada, I mean, I just want to go back to you for a minute in your world, especially in the world of real estate and even law. You know, this whole building of mutual trust, especially, I mean, those two pieces, buying a home or a commercial property or dealing with somebody on legal matters that could really change their life. I mean, what kind of practices do you put into place? You have to work pretty quickly to get those trust elements into place. So what would you share with the audience today around that?
Well, part of being professional in terms of creating mutual trust is that you have to know your area. For example, when I practiced law primarily, I had to know the law. I had to know what I was talking about. I had to know that area. And as a real estate broker, again, I have to know my craft very well. That is part of building mutual trust. That's a key element, I think. And to the extent that you know your craft well, you project a sense of security, a sense that, yes, I can accomplish whatever it is you, my client, wants to accomplish. And I think that's a key part of mutual trust, is having an air of complete security. it's projecting to your client, I can handle your matter. I know my stuff. I know I can handle your matter. And here are some examples. And so those are the two elements that have served me well in terms of having the knowledge and projecting competency.
Well, and I think it's important to know for anyone on the line today, too, is not to shy away if you don't know everything. It's okay not to know everything. I think that the mutual trust comes from actually saying sometimes that you need to go away and come back with the information and not feel like you need to be the expert on the moment. So, that builds mutual trust as well, because you're being authentic and you're saying that, you need some time with this and you're going to come back with a definitive answer, or you're going to ask somebody else to come back with that answer. And it's okay to pull in resources to help you create that trust and that element of professional relationship with somebody. So how important is it to define shared goals and values with a new connection? And where do you start? John?
So I think that what's in it for me is a very natural human trait. It's just there. But we need to learn to put that aside to actually pay attention to the other person and to listen to them like they're the only person in existence while we are talking to them and listening to them. This makes people compelled again, and makes them feel special and listened to and like they have your full attention. And that is the most urgent need, is to be paid attention to. Once you do this, people just love you. You have them at hello because you've paid attention. And I must say, it is a challenge. I have to learn to practice this every day. And, sometimes I fail because, as Carol said, our chatter gets in the way and what we want. But if we just say, I am going to put aside what I need and just really listen to this person, you've won them completely.
That's right, listening. Absolutely. That's how you define the shared goals. I put up a poll here. What do you define as shared goals and values? So 1 was hard dollar gains, 2 was trust and respect, and 3 was effort and skill application. I was going to put a D and say all of the above, but I thought I'd leave it out because I really wanted to see where people would put themselves because we really do know that all of those pieces are really important, but most attendees said trust and respect. So that is a really definitive feeling, emotion that people want when they're talking about shared goals and values, is that piece. Carol, what are your thoughts here?
Oh, I think that shared goals, when you have a patient certainly come in, you are both working for the patient's well-being, and that has to be clear. But I also think with your staff, it's important. We so often forget, well, I'm paying them, so they should be loyal, but it's really giving them the praise, letting them know they're part of a team. And that is so critical. And, as Janine, we can't stress enough listening, hearing everyone. And the sharing goal of the organization has to also think about the goals of each individual. And that is critical.
Thanks, Carol. Absolutely. I think it is definitely a big piece of it is making everybody feel that they're part of the goal. And everyone. Right, exactly, and important, and that their piece of the goal is going to be part of the big picture of the goal. And I think that that's a very important fact. Thank you. Ada, what would you like to add here?
What I'd like to add here is how important is it to define shared goals and values? Well, with regard to defining shared goals and values, you have to explore that. And where do you start? That's the second part of the question. Where do you start in terms of how do you define shared goals? How do you even find if you have any shared goals? One mnemonic that I've used to find out what the shared goals and values are, the mnemonic stands for FORD, F-O-R-D. And I use this tool to find out what the shared goals are. So F stands for family. Ask the person about their family. Start with children and grandchildren because that's usually the easiest to start with. Ask the new person that you just met, oh, do you have any children? Oh, yes, I have grown children. I have small children. I have grandchildren. And that allows you to find out where your shared goals and values are. Occupation. Now, professionals are usually very happy to talk to you about their occupation. I found non-professionals not as open. However, if you ask a doctor, an attorney, a certified public accountant about their occupation, that's another way that you can crack open the person to find out what shared goals and values you have with that person. Another one is recreation, R. Most people are usually open to that. So to find out where your shared goals and values are, talk about, oh, do you have any hobbies? What do you do on weekends? How do you spend your time? Do you go to the movies? Talk about recreational things. That's another way to find out your shared goals and values. For example, I'm a Star Trek fan, and so if I start talking about that, I find a lot of people with that shared goal and value. Another one is dreams. Talk to people to find out what their shared goals and values are. Talk to them about their dreams, where it is they want to be in life, what it is they want to do. If they had all the money in the world, what would they do with it? That's another way for you to find out your shared goals and find out the shared values. And that's where I would start using FORD. I hope that you all wrote that down. F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, D for dreams. When properly used, the FORD method will result in finding other people's shared goals and values.
Ada, that's fabulous. Really great. It kind of breaks it down because it's true. Where do you start? And I think that having FORD and having those 4 components and being able to start a conversation with being able to start that conversation. So wonderful tip. F-O-R-D, F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, and D for dreams. Wonderful, Ada. So final question for you ladies today, before we invite Star back on, is networking, which is why we're all here and why we all belong to NAPW. So let's bring this piece into the equation. The biggest mistake I see happen is people often come with the whiffum. What's in it for me? Do you see that as a recipe for disaster? What are some of the key components to effective networking that builds relationships that are long-lasting? Jean.
Okay, first of all, I jumped the gun because I wasn't listening. So I kind of addressed that already about listening. And there's more. There's, follow up. Always follow up with people. Be interested in them. And Ada was talking about that. People love when you're interested in them and actually genuinely care and ask questions about them and their lives. But also what I ask is, well, so what do you want? And sometimes they're shocked when I actually say, what do you want? I don't think anybody ever asks people, what do you want, and has somebody listen to them. So when you finish networking, people tell me that they have this big stack of cards and they don't know what to do with them. And I do. I follow up with people. And sometimes I will even call them. And people seem surprised that I'm calling them, yet their phone number's on the card. But more than that, I think they're delighted that somebody's actually following up. And sometimes it's just to say, hey, nice to meet you. And I find that sometimes relationships that start this way with me, they unfold organically. It's not like, gee, when do I find out when we're going to start talking about goals and what we're going to do together? And those are sometimes some of the most valuable relationships I've ever had that have just unfolded because I just like the person and I'm interested.
Thanks, Sean. Well, I think that as women, we need to connect on some emotional level to continue and grow these relationships that often will turn and hopefully into professional relationships. Carol, what would you like to add about this networking piece? and what your experience is.
Well, you spoke about a recipe for failure. We have a recipe for success. As NAPW members, when I meet women, and this follows up with what Jeannie just said, I offer them, what can I do to help your business? And it's usually they're looking for more networking. And I actually invite them to be a guest at NAPW meetings. And that is a great, because when you network with someone, it's who's going to go first, right? This way, you're offering them, you're going first. You're taking the leap. And it is amazing how many people are so, first of all, flattered, thrilled that I'm taking an interest and an action. And that really does start a dialogue, start a connect. And you'd also be surprised at how many of them actually show up. So it's great.
Wonderful. No, it's true. I think often the biggest component, is to use the listening skill, hear what the other person's saying, ask the questions, do the FORD, do the FORD, and then actually figure out someone else to connect them to, and someone else that you know in your network that they might like to meet, and bring it all together. Ada, any comments here?
Yes, I do. With them can be disastrous, because while you're trying to figure out what's in it for you, the key component is what the other person is looking for and how can you connect with them. For example, years ago, I met a coworker using the FORD method. I made it a point to keep in touch with her even after I left the organization where we both worked. I sold her home at a top dollar price with a record-setting high price, as a matter of fact. And one thing I found out in both the legal and real estate world, people don't care about what you have to sell or what you have to offer or what it is, what services you have to provide for them. They first want to make sure that you care about them. And once they figure out that you actually care about them, and then they feel comfortable about obtaining service from you. Now, my friend that I've known a long time, after I sold her home at a record-setting price, she referred her brother to me. And that's because I didn't do the what's in it for me. That's because I really wanted to be in touch with her. And if you keep all of the people, well, first of all, use FORD to find out shared goals and value, and then keep in touch with the people. Ask them about themselves. Do follow-up. Once they feel that you're truly interested in them, they'll give you all the business that you can handle. Oh, by the way, I just want to say, if you have any questions, you can also call me at area code 714.
You can share that in the chat room, Ada. You can share that in the chat room in a minute. I have to actually invite an important person back on and to say thank you to all of you at this time for coming on today. I really appreciate your time. So fortunate to have you as our members of NAPW and as our VIP members of NAPW. And at this point, I ask you can mute yourself and go off camera because I'm inviting Star back on to share with us how she built her strong network and trusted connections during her career. Star, are you there? Do we have Star on the line? Okay, we don't. Sam, do we need to bring her in from another room? Is she? Nope, she's not there. Maybe we lost her. What a shame. I know that she had some wonderful things to share. Maybe something came up. She's a busy lady. I know that whatever comments that she had today, she will absolutely be sharing with you. We will put them into the post-event email that we send out to you with the recording, so you will find them there.
Louise, are you looking for me?
We are looking for you, yes.
No, I am right here. I think I just hit Yeah, the wrong button. You all have to forgive me. I'm still a little technologically challenged. I'm right here and ready to go. Let me see if I can get myself back on screen. I'm still a little, figure out if I'm allowed to do that, and then I'll get back. I'm there. I think that's going to put me right back on screen. Did it give
Here you are.
Excellent. Wonderful. I'm absolutely right here. No issues whatsoever.
Okay, I'm going off camera. There you go.
I really just wanted to share with everybody how I've worked my network over all of those years, after all of these years. You know, because I've noted many times that networking has really always been a part of my professional life, and it's impacted on my career at every stop of the way. I told the ladies during our Power Networking event today that from law school and my University of Houston connection with my sorority sisters to the district attorney's office, making sure I picked a school that was connected with the College of District Attorneys so that I could get a job after I get out of law school. NBC, one of my production assistants, actually was the one who took my tape from Court TV over to Jeff Zucker, who was the executive producer at the time. Jones and Jury, I picked up the phone and took a phone call. Inside Edition, it was a girlfriend connection. And The View really was just me being nice to a young production assistant who ultimately became Barbara Walters' senior producer. So I work the network. I remember one thing all the time. I am kind to everybody that I meet, from the elevator operator to the doorman to the president of the company, because you really never know who you're going to run into and who might be able to provide an opening or an open door or an open window for you later in life. Because networking is about relationships, period. PDN and NAPW were founded on the premise of two very fundamental principles, empowering people and networking. And those two principles are the reason that I believe that I've accomplished what I have in my career. Networking has always been a part of my professional life. I can't say that enough. And it's impacted my career at every stop along the way, preparing and empowering women for everything that comes our way. That is the power of networking at its best. It is an opportunity to grow your individual wealth and to attain professional success. But it is also some give and take. So here are my tips, very practical. Be sure to bring something to the table other than an appetite. You can't always eat. You have to make sure that you are contributing to the common good. So think about what you have to offer people that you're reaching out to. Number two, when you attend a networking event, please have clear goals when you're going in there. You're not just going to get your party on. You are having a clear goal. What are you trying to accomplish? So take time to have meaningful conversations and always, always follow up. If you give a card and get a card, make sure to be in contact with that person. Number three, expand your network and sign up for seminars, webinars, and local industry events. Women must continue to improve our skill set with every single new challenge. Things change very rapidly. So the seminars, webinars, and local industry events are your best bet for making sure you keep your skills top-notch. Number four, you never know who you're going to meet. People are everywhere, which means opportunity is everywhere. And when opportunity meets preparation, there is no job out of reach. I practice a lot with my Uber drivers. I'm going to tell you the truth. When I get into an Uber, I interview him. I want to learn all about him or her, and then I want to find out, a little bit more about their business. It's my practice. It's almost as if I am networking just to keep myself fresh. The next is whatever it is you're passionate about and working towards, keep at it. It takes time and persistence. Things don't happen overnight. I've built a career over 30 years, and every building block built upon that career. I am brand consistent both personally and professionally, and I make sure my online persona matches my personal persona. This is who I am. Take it or leave it, but I'm going to be proud of the person that professionally and personally is out in the public eye. And then finally, my advice to entrepreneurs would be to follow your purpose and do what you love, but more importantly, help others while you're doing it. I believe that I am successful because I have helped others succeed for themselves.
I've had a lot of help over my career. A lot of people have stepped up for me. And, you know, I believe that when somebody has done that for you, you have an obligation to extend your hand and do the same thing. So those are my pieces for networking, leadership, and moving your career to the next level. I wish you all very much luck.
Thank you, Star. And thank you to our panel for sharing great advice today so we can work towards more productive and positive results when it comes to building stronger networks. So before we wrap up, I want to share with you the recommended reads from our panelists today. Ada Sands said How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Carol Soloway recommends The Empress Has No Clothes, Conquering Self-Doubt to Embrace Success, Joyce Roche. And Jean Omlo recommends The 29% Solution by Ivan Meisner. Thank you, ladies. These are great choices, and thank you again for your professional insight today. Also, thank you for the nearly 1,000 women who registered for our event today, and attendees only will be receiving a follow-up list of members at the event today, so you can connect again on napw.com and continue to network. If any of our attendees have further questions for our speakers, please feel free to reach out to them. Their information is on today's PowerPoint and will also be listed on the Post eChapter email. Also, all NAPW eChapters are recorded and saved on YouTube for you to find and share with your colleagues, friends, and family. Ladies, you'll see on your screen now that you can sign up to upcoming NAPW eChapter events. Remember, as I said before, we are hosting reruns of each live event bi-weekly, with every event hosting live networking for all attendees. Also, a quick mention of our upcoming corporate events in a city near you, hosted by Star Jones and the local chapter. Washington, D.C., October 8th, coming up this weekend from 12 till 3 p.m. New York City, October 26th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And Los Angeles, November 15th, from 12 till 2 p.m. And finally, ladies, post eChapter, here are 3 things you should be doing to continue putting your NAPW membership to work. Connect with at least 3 members post eChapter. As I said, the attendee list is coming your way post-event. Make sure to sign up for the next eChapter and future eChapters. And don't forget to take the post eChapter survey. Your feedback is very important to us and assists us in enhancing your member experience. Thank you, everyone, for another great eChapter, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, is there anything else we're supposed to be doing?
I don't think so.
Okay. And who am I speaking with?
Carol Soloway.
Yeah.
Carol Soloway?
Yes.
Yes. Well, it's good talking to you, and I will see you at our next chapter meeting.
Yes, you